This has been somewhat of a nightmare, so any advice would be amazing. My boyfriend is also 23 for clarity. I have a garlic allergy. It's not lethal, and I definitely wouldn't get anaphylaxis or something from it. The problem is that I get asthma if I eat it, and it'll really mess with my digestion later. Everyone in my life knows that I can't have garlic and I won't have garlic. It makes eating out a nightmare because of how prevalent it is. So usually my boyfriend and I have date nights at our apartment and we cook for each other. But my boyfriend's mom has a family tradition and she insists we all come to dinner at least once a month. She's a fantastic cook and usually a really nice lady to be around, but there's one problem. She wants me to come every time, but she always adds garlic to every dish. At this point, I've just started taking an inhaler and just eating the Hawaiian rolls she always serves. My boyfriend drives us, and we just go get fast food right after. We've talked to her over and over again about the garlic. I've asked her over and over to please not use garlic, and she says she doesn't understand how it's such a big deal because it's not like you'll die. I've tried skipping the meals, but she throws a fit and drags her entire family into it. I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years now, and I'm best friends with his sister. I'm at my wit's end. How do I get this through to her? Long story short, my boyfriend's mom insists on serving food with garlic at every meal, even though I'm allergic. I have brought my own food before, usually something simple like a mac and cheese. I did it twice, but both times she was angry and basically made for an incredibly unhappy evening. Relevant comments from OOP. The problem is that she just won't listen, honestly. She has this weird mindset of, well, it's not like a kid with a peanut allergy where you either have anaphylaxis and nearly do actually die, or it's just something you can brush off like lactose intolerance or something. I've tried bringing my own food, but she freaked out and basically made the entire dinner uncomfortable for everyone. I'm honestly at the point where I'm tempted to just eat some of her food and show how wheezy I get just so she'll understand. Definitely going to talk to my boyfriend and his sister about this, again. It's just so frustrating, and I've had food from her that didn't have garlic and it was fantastic. I just don't understand it. Update 1. So, hi again, and thanks for the advice. To those of you who said she just didn't like me, you were 100% correct. After my boyfriend woke up yesterday, we had a long talk about how bothersome his mother's refusal to take out garlic is. He agreed that we should skip the dinner until she takes it out. Something about it still bothered me, so I ended up calling her and just bluntly asking her. She kept evading the question, saying she's just a garlic lover, that she doesn't understand what the big deal is, etc., etc. Finally, after like 30 minutes of back and forth, she finally admitted that she just doesn't like me. I think I'm correct in drawing the conclusion that she was trying to drive me from her family with garlic shenanigans, but maybe I'm just overthinking, I don't know. Anyways, I asked Ed if it was because of my job, receptionist, my age, background, whatever. And she just flat out told me that she doesn't like that I have my septum and tongue done and that I color my hair unnatural colors. She thinks it's unprofessional and proves that I'm too much of a wild child to date her son. Which sucks because I really like this woman, but I guess she was just polite out of courtesy rather than actually liking me herself. After I ended the call, I went to go find my boyfriend, and he basically fessed up and said that, yeah, his mother was not a fan and kept basically hinting that we should break up, mostly by mentioning stuff like, my friend Jenny has such a cute daughter and that sort of thing. Which hurts like hell, but I'm glad I know. Anyways, my boyfriend and his sister have both agreed to just start up a group dinner once a month. I'm going to stop going to the dinners, and my boyfriend will just go without me. Long story short, woman just doesn't like me. Edit. I can officially say I've gotten the ick. This man sucks. Edit 2. I'm gonna break up with him tomorrow. I'm too sleepy and pissed, but I'll post an update on my profile. Update 2. Hi, me again. I broke up with him and basically spent the day fielding texts from him asking WTF was going on and why I was freaking out over his mom. As I said in the update, I got the ick. The more I thought about how he didn't defend me to his mother, refused to tell me about her underhanded tactics, the more I just didn't like him anymore. It was like a switch flipped. So when he woke up, he got a call from me saying, this wouldn't work out. We had a long conversation that basically turned into him being defensive. In the end, I was firm. I also sent a text to his sister along the lines of, if you've got questions, ask your brother, before I blocked her, of course. It's kind of shitty that I lost my best friend and my boyfriend, but on the bright side, at least it wasn't cheating and they just suck. Thank you everyone for the advice, and hopefully I find a better man with a better family. Story 2. This is my first time posting on Reddit. I know I will be met with harsh judgment, but I need advice on how to rebuild a relationship with my only daughter. I want to start off by saying that I know I was the one who ruined our relationship, but it's been 3 years already. I just don't see why she can't come around. I miss her terribly, and she's my one and only girl, my only child. I should explain, I, 43M, married my current wife, 21F. 3 years ago, it had caused quite some backlash from my friends, my community, some of my family members, my ex, and of course my daughter. But I had to marry my wife. She's the only one for me. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. She's a kind and caring woman. I knew my daughter would have some problems with my marriage, but I never expected how harsh she could have been. She begged me to end this marriage. She pleaded with my wife to leave me. I had to admit, I'm not proud of myself, but I told her that I wished she was never born, that I resented her and that she meant nothing to me. I already had a rocky relationship with my daughter. She never approved of my relationship with my wife, but we would at least have a talking relationship. Since that day, she hasn't spoken to me since. If I am being honest, I miss her, and I decided to see on social media how she was doing. She's engaged. I am her father. And I found out about my own daughter's engagement through social media. That was when I knew I had made a serious mistake. I don't want to miss out on any more of her milestones in life. I contacted her through social media, but she had blocked me. I want to reach out to her again. I want her back in my life, but I need advice. Edit. I will be editing this post to answer some questions and paint a clearer picture. For one, I did not meet my wife when she was a minor. That would have been extremely disgusting, and I would have seen her differently if I had. Everything about our relationship had been legal, and there was clear consent. I met her when she was 18. We dated for a total of 8 months before we had gotten married. She had always been more reserved and shy, so we agreed on an elopement. I am not planning to have any more children in the near future. As for the relationship between my wife and my daughter, they weren't enemies, they were simply friends. She had started coming over and a relationship between us naturally developed. She was skeptical at very beginning, but I truly love her, and I know she feels the same. I must also say my wife is an adult woman. She is not some baby. The way that a lot of you consider her to be a child is frankly disturbing and hurtful towards her. She can make her own decisions, and she chose to be with me. Why else has she stayed by my side for 3 years? Update. I expected a lot of backlash when I had posted my first post regarding my issues with my daughter, but I hadn't expected the death threats and the accusations that I am a pedophile. I met my wife when she was 18 and an adult. That is that, and just know I am unbothered by the death threats. It just shows how immature some people can be. Now, I did end up meeting with my daughter, and I suppose I'm just posting this to get this all off my chest. I received a message from my daughter. She had unblocked me and sent me a brief message. She wanted to meet up, and I was feeling hopeful. I thought maybe she realized that she needs her father in her life, though she followed it up by saying that my parents had pressured her into at least trying to speak with me. That hurt a bit. I thought she wanted to meet up and reconcile out of her own volition, but even if it was just pressure from my parents, I was still happy. This was my chance to make things right. On the day when we were supposed to meet up, I made a huge mistake. I lost track of time. I was busy with my wife, she was too cute to ignore, and, well, one thing led to another, and by the time I remembered it was already 30 minutes after we were due to meet at the local park. I can't forget the look my daughter gave me. She almost seemed as though she didn't care and even expected this. I tried to explain myself the best way I could. I kept it vague and said I lost track of time, but she wasn't having any of it. I tried so hard to get through to her and explain that I was sorry, but she just coldly told me to make my parents leave her alone. She told me that I wasn't her father anymore, that she'd never forgive me for everything I did. She told me that if I or my parents ever bother her again, she would stop talking to my side of the family completely. I had to admit, I was getting a little angry as my parents had done nothing wrong, but I held my tongue. To add salt to the wound, she told me I wasn't invited to her wedding, and her maternal uncle would be walking her down the aisle instead. I felt broken. I wanted to make things work. I had to make things right. I kept trying to get through to her, but her fiancé showed up and they left just like that. I couldn't even get another word in. She didn't even introduce me to the boy. I just feel like it's all over. My parents have been blowing up my phone, blaming me for screwing up and embarrassing them, but at least I still have my wife by my side. I feel so fucking alone, but with her, my life doesn't seem like a complete shithole. She's all I need. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, and if you enjoy, smash that like button.